let me just say something. I grew up in a household that played a lot of Michael Jackson. Okay, my mom would always be jamming, and there have been some pretty serious allegations against Mr. MJ himself. And I, well, I haven't really seen evidence. I haven't actually like looked too far into it because it just hurts, man. It's like well, I don't want to compare it to the Kanye thing at all, actually, because I'm gonna stop talking. It's all, it's all like stuff that like I need to see evidence, as shitty as it sounds. I'm not someone that would like ever defend some of the things he's been accused of. Okay, let me just lay that out. Fine. There's a fine line that you cannot cross, no matter what. Okay, his allegations are a little bit more serious than Kanye being an absolute anti-Semitic piece of shit. While both are bad, that's what I was trying to say. Is that while I don't support anything Kanye has done as far as his like anti-Semitism and just overall being stupid, this shit right here, it's hard to understand. Like, I'm not intelligent enough to like see.
I first met him, he kind of called me randomly, like out of the blue. He was just kind of like, "Hi, it's Michael." I'm just like, "Hey." And the thing
This was after Home Alone?
This is after Home Alone. I actually had met him before I was doing Nutcracker at Lincoln Center. I was playing Fritz, and he came backstage one day, and I actually met him very briefly. And he kind of recognized me because it was after I'd done Uncle Buck, and so...
Mac have had quite an extensive relationship. Is this true?
A classic. Everyone knows this guy. Imagine Michael Jackson calls you on the phone. What are you supposed to do? Not answer? What would you do?
Lincoln Center? You were in the Nutcracker?
Mac's a great dancer.
He is?
When Michael saw the movie Home Alone at Christmas 1990, he asked his housekeeper to contact its young star, Macaulay Culkin.
Michael saw the movie and he asked Norma to have him brought over and spend some time at the ranch.
Yeah, he reached out to me because, yeah.
I mean, okay. Even just to do that, you know, just to call a child, you know, even if it is an actor, you know, they're kind of in the same entertainment industry. Maybe acting and music are different, but I mean, we're already kind of doing some weird shit. You could admire his acting from afar, you know, and shit. Just calling him to say hi isn't too bad, but asking to hang out and shit, I mean...
Because a lot of things were happening, like, you know...
But that's
big
not...
and fast with me. And I think, yes,
some
I think
things
he
he's been
identified
accused
with that.
of.
And then he calls me up kind of out of the blue.
There's a big
it's kind
difference.
of just this weird random thing. And he was like, "Why don't you come over to my house?"
Weird is not illegal. Spending time with Michael, I'd never.
The thing is, I didn't react to him the way most people did. Most people are like, Michael Jackson. And, you know, I mean, he was a god to people. And to me, he was, you know, I knew he was a pop singer, but beyond that, you know, I wasn't one of the fans. I think that's one of the reasons why we connected.
I really didn't actually give a shit about famous people because I was thoroughly unimpressed by them. So when I first met him, I'm like, okay, cool, you're just that guy.
Yep.
Oh, that guy who sings songs. Like, cool.
Great.
Like, yeah, I sing songs in school. That's great. So anyway,
I've never lost a water balloon fight. I'm the Michael Jordan of water balloon fighting.
Visions of Doom! Yay! We won the fight again and again.
I think that's one of the reasons also why we got along is that like everyone's always
just
thoroughly
seems like
impressed
someone
by him,
that, like,
and so the fact there was somebody who was kind of
didn't really
like,
mature.
treated him like a normal person, it was kind of just like
Michael
it
Jackson.
was that simple.
Believe me, I call him a jerk all the time. I call him a fathead and this and that, you know?
But knowing Macaulay Culkin, he made sure he schemed on me. He told me to go up on the diving board, and I went up there like a nut.
Oh, that was a good one.
I'll kill you! I will kill you, Mac! Mac, I'm going to annihilate you. Me and Mac we're in Bermuda and we're looking for some interesting treasure.
Mac and I would go on vacation together, and Mac is very smart.
Going on vacation together? You're making it hard for me, Michael. You're making it hard for me, MJ. Like maybe hanging out, I could have seen an argument for, or maybe, you know, with his parents there and shit, but I get it. No one wants to grow up, and Michael Jackson might have been robbed of like a childhood, I guess, but I
And
mean,
he's very ingenious and causing trouble.
But it's his idea.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna try this.
And we were in Bermuda together, and we were signing water balloons. He had me signing water balloons.
still not
And he was
illegal,
throwing these
but
balloons at the fans
you're
on the
making it
balcony.
hard for me to defend you.
They loved it. They wanted more. They were asking for more.
Mac and Brock were watching a movie or something like that over in the other room, and we went out.
Am
on
I
that
being
balcony,
weird?
And that's when
Maybe I'm being
he
weird.
came out with.
I don't know what to think anymore.
He really missed not having a childhood, and that was one of the reasons why he ran around doing all these crazy things. Because now he could do what he wanted, and he wanted to have the fun that he didn't get when he was a kid.
Like, wasn't he touring during
I
all this
remember a
and stuff?
statement he made that, you know, kids are honest.
I mean, can we get an adult around here? At least. What is these ashtrays doing here? They smoking?
You can trust them. He says, I haven't been
Giga
around
chads.
hardly any adults that haven't ended up wanting
Kid
something
smokers?
from me."
You know, what Michael went through as a child, he had to grow up so fast that he related to what you went through as a child. And I think, in a way, he was trying to protect you.
Yeah.
I mean, and I got something that was kind of profound. Did you feel that's
Yeah,
true?
He used to tell me that very few people besides
I can relate
Michael
to having to
could
grow up pretty
really
quickly.
understand that kind of white-hot attention.
I did
I was
not
a
have
peerless person.
a father in my
You know, I
household.
was like, yeah, like nobody else in my
but
Catholic
I
school
can't relate to this kind of shit.
even had like even
Okay, wait
like
a second.
this much idea of
That wasn't MJ, though. Who is this? Surely they have pants on, right? And who is this? I'm a little bit concerned.
like nobody else in my Catholic school even had like even like this much idea of what I was going through, you know, or what I, and like he was the kind of person who'd like, yeah, been through the exact same freaking thing and wanted to make sure that like I wasn't alone in that kind of.
One time I wore a ski mask and I was walking down the street, you know, this guy goes, I heard him just whispering, is that the kid from Home Alone? I'm like, wearing a ski mask, boy, you know, I better get my plans, I better get a facelift or something, you know.
Man, that kid's pretty intelligent for
like an
kid.
hour at a time, just to
I
talk.
wonder where he's at now.
I really had this sense of loneliness about the guy, and that he really.
Where's Mac? This looks very dangerous to me.
An appreciation for working on the Black or White short film.
Yeah.
How
I'd like
does
to
that
say
sound?
Thank you, and we love you, and we think
And
you've done
John? And
a
John?
wonderful job.
Yeah.
John?
Because
What,
every,
Mac?
John.
Yes?
every time.
I feel like he knew it was coming though.
He
I
was
mean, he kind of
hilarious. He was
predicted something
sweet,
right there.
and like yeah, no people know how funny he fucking was. He liked prank calling people. He actually was really good with. No. He's like, how are you? And like yeah, it's like
There's like sections of this video that sound like double audio or something, but it's not.
I'm good. Like hi, you know, do you have any mattresses in your mattress
Oh,
store?
he's talking
Like
to
you know, and
someone.
he was charming, fucking funny, silly. Like yeah.
Macaulay truly excited, eager to introduce Michael to his Home Alone 2 co-star Devin Rattray, who was taping away.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Michael Jackson is in that airport van. Don't I know you from somewhere? You're that guy,
He's that guy. He's him.
He's armed, he's dangerous. Oh, Michael! It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's him.
Mr.
He
Jackson.
is him. Okay. Here's where it gets a little bit serious. Child sexual abuse claims are made against Michael, 1993. Okay. Let's start getting real. Biases aside, love of his music aside, let's take in some
Then,
facts.
later in 1993, Macaulay's good friend Michael Jackson was accused of child molestation.
These statements about me are totally false. As I have maintained from the very beginning, I am hoping for a speedy.
Mac later admitted he wished to speak out
Speedy
in
what?
Jackson's defense, but his father
would you
wouldn't
put
let
that
him. He was 13 years old at the time.
He wanted to. Wait.
So things like, you know, when you and Liz Taylor were the godparents, Michael Jackson's son.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
was
That's
that
a
just kind
recent
of like
thing, though. Also,
was that kind of, oh, Michael's my mate and Liz is his other mate?
yeah, he
and-
called me up and he said, "Yeah, you want to be my son's godfather?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And the next thing I know, it's like in the in the magazines and stuff like that. It's just like, I didn't think it was a big deal. He's like one of my best friends, and he asked me to be his son's godfather. And what am I going to say? No, you know?
Macaulay was there for Michael's all-star salute in 2001.
He's a sweet person, and he's just...
One thing I'll judge off of, like, the way he talks about Michael Jackson is, like, I don't feel like, even if you felt a need to fake it or to lie for some reason, I don't think he would be talking that nice about him. You know, he would kind of probably just, I assume, kind of just stay neutral. If something bad had happened and he knew it, or something like that. Now, again, he was pretty young, but...
I'm very happy to have him in my life. I think one of the great things about our relationship is me and him could just act like kids all the time, and that's kind of what we do.
And Macaulay is the godfather of Michael's 2 kids.
How are they doing? Oh, they're doing great. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. And they just keep on getting bigger. I think, you know, as normal of a life as Michael can give them, the better.
A new set of allegations,
The
2003,
relationship that you
2005.
have with Michael Jackson.
Had or have? I mean,
Had both.
you know, whatever.
Let's go with had.
Listen, no, he's a good friend of mine, and he still is. I mean, everything that's going on, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate situation for everyone involved. And
What happened at the house? That's what all these things
It's,
people
you know,
are
that's
concerned
what's
about.
so weird, you know.
What did happen?
Nothing happened, you know. I mean, nothing really. I mean, we played video games, you know. We you know, played it as.
So this is him saying nothing
Well,
happened.
the thing is with that whole thing is that, you know, they go, oh, you slept in the same bedroom as him. It's like, I don't think you understand. Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories, and it has like 3 bathrooms and this and that. So when I slept in his bedroom, yeah, but you have to understand the whole scenario.
Talked about young boys sleeping in.
Okay. I mean, come on. It's just... The thing is, if anyone else in the world did this, I would be like, that's weird. So it's kind of odd for me to not say that about Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? But the big thing is, there is a very important distinction that you need to make between some kind of sexual activity with, you know, underage kid, or just hanging out with him. You know, there's a very big... I mean, sleepovers with a kid, I mean, that's just already... That's really hard to defend. But, you know, I'm gonna let it play a
In
little
his
bit.
bed, in his bedroom. Well, you and your brother.
He's like,
Karen
yeah, that
had
sounds
done
bad.
Yeah, it wasn't anything like weird. It wasn't anything we thought about. We go to the movies and we do this, we do that, and it's like, okay, you know, you plop down, you go to sleep, you wake up. It's just kind of just what happens. You know?
I remember sleepovers with the homies, you know, when we were either all on the same bed or on the floor next to each other, and it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not sexual. In my case, it was not anything like that. Like, we literally, it didn't cross our minds.
You know?
At young ages. This is obviously a little
They
bit
weren't
different,
against
but...
it. You know, it wasn't like they encouraged it or like pushing me upon it. It was just kind of like I wanted to hang out with them, and they were fine with it.
So what do you make of what he's going through now?
Like I said, it's unfortunate, and you know, it's a circus right now. You know, I don't know. It's a little crazy, and I kind of have taken a step back from the whole thing because it is a bit of a circus. And
now, is this the only person that he's been accused of, like, doing things to or whatever? Because so far, I mean, this guy, I don't see why he would lie. He's kind of said the same story since he was a kid till now. If there was, like, other allegations, then we need to hear from that person. But, again, I think if something had happened to this guy, he would sound a little bit more, at least, neutral. He's only said, like, extremely nice things so far.
you know, if the same thing was happening to me, I wouldn't want to drag him into it, and vice versa. So I try my best to keep a distance from it, but like I said, he's still a friend of mine.
If they asked you to be a character witness, would you appear?
I guess so, but I probably not. I mean, like I said, it's crazy, and I don't really want to be a part of it.
Well, looks like you're a part of it now. In a courtroom.
Actor Macaulay Culkin arrived and
Yes,
left
he
the
kinda has
courthouse
to be,
here in
right?
Santa Maria with very little fanfare. His testimony didn't last too long. In a very clear and strong voice,
when
he
was
told
this
the
recorded?
jury
Fucking
Michael Jackson
1910?
never touched him inappropriately.
It says
He
4K.
also said, quote, "I never saw him act improper with anybody." Culkin did face a somewhat aggressive cross-examination by prosecutor Ron Zonin. Culkin did say yes, he shared a bed with Michael Jackson, but he described it as more like falling asleep on Jackson's bed. The prosecution then attempting to try and suggest that perhaps Jackson molested Culkin while he was sleeping. Prosecutor Zonin saying,
Okay, while it's weird, where is that coming from? Like, did his parents, like, tell the prosecutor that? I don't think the prosecutor should be able to just, like, say that. Like, that's almost defamation, right? I don't know if Michael Jackson ever had a defamation trial, but I mean, the guy is sitting there telling you that it didn't happen.
so as far as you
I don't
know, you
know.
were never molested while you
As
were
far as you
awake.
know.
Culkin's response, as far as I know, I was never
What the fuck? He said he's implying that the kid might have been touched while he was asleep?
molested by Michael Jackson.
Where's that coming from?
Say that you felt that he did not have unnatural relationships with any of the kids, any of the boys who stayed in his house. How did you know that?
Well, I mean, you never know anything without 100% certainty. But at the same time, I mean, if my opinion is, if he didn't do anything to me, I don't think he would have done anything to anyone else.
When was the last time you talked with Michael Jackson?
About 4 months ago.
How is he doing? He's living in Bahrain in the Middle East.
Yeah, when I talked to him, it sounded like he was doing better. I mean, his voice was stronger. So, you know, I just said, you know, just go and take care of yourself, essentially, was my advice, you know. So, who knows if he'll take it.
Jackson's 3 children, Prince, Paris, and Blanket, solemnly emerged from a caravan of Rolls-Royces just after sunset. His entire family more than an hour late for a service witnessed by Jackson's dearest friends. Among them, 77-year-old Liz Taylor, frequent Neverland guest Macaulay Culkin, and his longtime collaborator, Quincy Jones.
He has always defended his friendship with Michael.
That's right. And just this past January, Macaulay talked about the pop star on the Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum podcast. He revealed that he and Jackson
plastic
bonded
surgery
over
jobs,
their
that's a whole
childhood
different
fame.
conversation.
It's almost easy to try to say, oh, it was like weird or whatever, but it wasn't. It's like one of my friendships that people question only because of the fact that he was the most famous person in the world. He was the kind of person who'd been through the exact same freaking thing and wanted to make sure that like I wasn't alone in that. For me, it's so normal and mundane. Like, you know, I know it's a big deal to everyone else, but like for me, it's like, yeah, it was a normal, like, you know, it was a normal friendship.
Now, Macaulay has always said that Michael never did anything inappropriate to him, despite other sexual abuse accusations against the pop star.
And that really
in
sucks.
the interview, Macaulay says,
like his
in
whole
part,
life, he's
quote,
had to
"If
answer
I
the
had
same question.
something to speak up about, I would totally do it. But no, I never saw anything. He never did anything." Now, Macaulay also talked about an awkward interaction he had with James Franco on an airplane regarding the Michael Jackson documentary Finding Neverland. He said that James asked him what he thought about it. Well, he simply responded with, quote, "Do you want to talk about your dead friend?" And for some reason, though, people think he's the only one who knows because he was there. So everyone wants his opinion. In my head, there is no way, again, I'm speculating, there's no way Michael Jackson would have touched or done anything to Macaulay Culkin because he was the most famous person on earth at that time. I mean, one of them. I think he used him as a beard or a hide to say, look, I have children friends and I do nothing with them. And he can go broadcast that out to everybody.
See, Sam, I think he did this interview because he does not do a lot of interviews. He hasn't done one in 15 years, I think. He doesn't need to. He's not promoting anything right now.
And got
he's
some fashion sense.
multi-millionaire. Doesn't
He
need
has
the money.
issues
Doesn't
picking
need
out
the
the right
exposure. Everybody
pants.
knows his name.
Or maybe
he's
the
doing
right
this, I think,
top,
to tell people
but
to
the
take my dead
pants-
friend's name out of your mouth.
Something's missing. Okay, the thing is, regardless of their fashion choices and Michael's plastic surgery, let me give the hottest take I've ever given. I don't think that just hanging out with a kid and let me finish. Is while it is weird, okay, I don't think it's unheard of, should never happen. You know, I think there should be like a parent around for sure. I think, you know, there should be, obviously a bunch of people should know where they're at, you know. I gotta pick my words carefully here. I have not seen, from at least this video, any evidence of anything happening. And I'm a very evidence logical person, okay? Might be a little bit of autism in there. But Barry, I need evidence. I don't care how bad it is, how bad the accusations are. I'm not going to get swept up in the sensational part of it all. Okay? I didn't see evidence of this. In fact, all I saw was evidence to the contrary. So, and the thing is someone that's been through that much as a kid growing up, it would be very hard to stay as like sane and as level-headed as McCaughlin has turned out to be, right? Like he just looks like a normal person now. He seems like a normal person, talks like a normal person. If he was really going through that as a kid, even if as a kid he didn't realize it was wrong, eventually he's going to learn that it was terrible. It shouldn't have happened. And he would, there's no way he wouldn't at least seem like more distressed, more, anxious about the whole thing. I don't know. Now, this is one part of Michael Jackson's entire life, right? I'm not going to sit here and defend other things that I might not even know about. Like there's a video right here, relationships. You never know. I could watch this video and he could have been, tons of this and that. Could have been terrible. But that is not the same thing as, relations with a minor and shit like that. You don't just throw that around like the prosecutor saying, what did he say? You don't know if he touched you in your sleep? Like, dog, I've heard of reach before, but that's like Halo reach. You are reaching across the board. Like, that is too much. With no evidence, if there was substantial evidence, you can say shit like that, but dude. I'm trying to look at this as objectively as possible, just like I do everything else, that especially legal shit, objectively. There are tons of weirdos out in the world, tons of very bad people that should never even be within kilometers of kids. And I don't think Michael Jackson's one of them. I think it's a little bit odd, but that's not illegal. Thanks for watching. For now, I still love MJ.